everybody. Welcome to 307 Country. Well, today I'm going to put this Farmertech saw together. Hopefully get it all done today. I don't know, maybe not. This is my first time putting a saw together from scratch. So bear with me and we'll learn together. A lot of you guys may have already done this kind of stuff, but so you'll probably be screaming and yelling at me through the camera or through your screen. But I've got a New West crank, New West cylinder, and a highway piston with caber rings. This is actually the big bore kit. Bearings, not Farmertech bearings, highway gasket kit and seals. So I did upgrade some of this stuff, just due to the fact that I do plan on porting this saw at some point, so I want better crank and bottom end in it. So anyway, right now the crank is in the freezer. Had it in there since last night so that I can drop these bearings on, and then I'm going to put it back in the freezer while I prep my cases, and then I'll be able to just heat the case sides up and drop them right on the bearings. Hopefully that's how it goes. Just thinking about it, you know, logically that's the way I plan on doing it, so we'll see if it works. Alright, we'll be back in a minute with the crank and the bearings and whatnot. Alright, I got the crank here and the new bearings. I mean, it's cold. I pulled the cases out to see how they looked and stuff. And they already come with bearings and seals in them from Farmertech, but I want to put these bearings and seals in, so I'm assuming, I think, they're supposed to go on all the way. So we may have to figure out a little bit of a press type situation to get them on here. And they don't really have a inside or outside, but I'm putting the numbers to the inside. Yeah, those have to seat all the way. So, got a socket here somewhere. That slide over. Yep. Looks like it needs to go just a little more. Okay, I'm going to go throw these back in the freezer and prep the cases. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, prepping these cases, I want to make sure that these surfaces are perfectly flat. So I'm just taking a file here, real fine file, and running it over the surface, and you can see like right in there, I don't know if you can catch that in the camera or not, but I'm shiny here but not here, so this is actually high and this is low down in there. And I know that's probably just minuscule variance, but and the gasket will probably take that up. But see, I don't know if you can see right there, that's way low compared to out there. Same with there. Okay, that's pretty good. Obviously, the most critical part of this is around your crankcase or your oil tank. You know, you don't want it to leak, obviously, but it's not going to destroy this off. It does a little bit. So, like I said, the bearings, I already pulled the bearing out of this half. Bearings and seals are in there. So, I'm going to go ahead and blow this out. And your seal, this is your PTO side, your clutch side. The seal that goes on this side, you can see they come, one's got a smaller ID than the other. The larger ID seal goes on the PTO side or the clutch side. Got a socket here that's just about the perfect size. It's just a little bit bigger, which is fine because it won't. Go. You can almost hear it go in. Looks like I need a smaller socket. It's got to go down in there some more. But not a whole lot. That looks pretty good. So that seal's in. I'm going to pull this seal and bearing out. What did I do with my handy dandy, what I call a seal puller? This is just a hook tool. Just pry it out like that. I probably didn't even ruin that one. Oh, need to press the bearing out because I don't want to use these bearings. So the way I do that is my vise here and this smaller socket. And there's that bearing out. And we'll tap this seal in. So if you've never put seals in before, usually your open side that has the spring on it goes towards whatever the compression is going to be, your vacuum, whatever. Over there for a second. So I think it'll come out of there, so set it like that. That one's in there pretty good. It looks like it could go a lot farther if it's supposed to seat up against there, but not really sure on that. Might have to go back and look and see how deep that is. And I don't think it's much deeper than that. It's pretty flush with that lip, so maybe just a little more on that one side. I think that's pretty good. Alright, we'll get this cleaned up and get it ready for putting the crank in. I am going to just put a little bit of oil on this gasket on both sides. Just a thin, thin coat. Just to help seal it up a little better. Some guys, I've heard, will soak the gasket in oil. I don't really like that idea just because it swells the gasket up, and then I would think it would cause it to eventually, if it does dry out, it would shrink back and you could possibly have a leak. Probably not likely, but just a thought. Just don't quite want to fit over the studs. Actually going to use this half to seat it down on those studs. Maybe. There we go. Alright, well now what I want to do is heat my cases up and drop my bearings in, drop the crank in. So we'll be back in a minute. That don't seem to be cooperating very well, huh? See, it's starting to smoke a little bit there. We're probably hot enough. go grab the crank and okay, we got the crank here. And you want to remember the small end, this is your flywheel side. Large end with the worm gear on it for the oil pump is your clutch side. Don't want to get that in backwards and have to take it back out and redo it. Well, that didn't drop in like I hoped. Bearing got hot. We're going to let the crankshaft and bearing cool down for a little bit. And we'll try it again here in a minute. Well, I got one side in. It went flawlessly. Once I got the case hot enough, I just didn't have it hot enough on that first try. May not have this one hot enough either. Well, I think we're kind of screwed. Let me play with it a little more and see what I can come up with. Together, I didn't, I got excited and started heating up the half, and and heating up that case half and didn't record it. So anyway, we're together. Hopefully everything is good, and we'll get the screws in here and I could use my impact. Well, I don't really have a long enough tip for it, but tightening stuff down, especially something like this, I really want to be able to feel how tight I'm getting things. I'm just kind of tightening these down incrementally. I think she does good. Well, that's the first time I've ever put together a crankcase on a chainsaw. Took me a little bit, but I got it. Those are 27. That 25 seems to be getting stuck in there awful easy. Actually kind of twisting the end of it too. Didn't think I'd have that much. Okay, you want to take and cut this gasket off flush with the surface there. And try not to cut yourself. Yeah. Let's see. I think in order to keep everything clean while I'm working on the rest of this, I'm going to put the cylinder on. I think I'll put on I'll just stuff some paper towels down in there. So looking over all the parts, there's a few things that I'm definitely not sure of, but we'll figure it out together. Hopefully anyway. So let me see where I'm going next. I'll be right back.